Hello and welcome to a special episode of Power Talk, where we break down the top 10 users heading into Madden 18, voted on by the users within the Dynasty. Today I have my host with me, my co-host with me, Tone Dog. What's going on, man?
What up, what up, what up?
And also I have JB Blazing with me. What's going on?
What's going down, man?
Yeah, man, it's almost, man, we're just about 2 weeks away from Madden 18. They dropped a lot of game footage this week. What was you guys' thoughts on the footage that we witnessed this week?
Well, for me, kind of like most people who saw the game footage, or at least those who went to EA Play, you were a little surprised kind of at the zone coverage that they showed. For me, when I was at EA Play, the defense was definitely the staple of the entire event. Obviously, you know, the man coverage was the talk of the town, but the zone coverage played a lot better than the videos that was released recently. You know, as I saw somebody else say, you know, the yellow zones kind of played a little more yellowy and the blue zones played a little more bluey. But from the video that was posted this week, you know, there was so much like open space in between the areas of the zone. So I'm really kind of hoping that they clean that up before the game is released in this next couple days. But other than that, you know, I'm really kind of just excited to kind of see it for myself, get it on my TV, you know, because it's definitely different watching the videos versus when you're playing the game in front of it, looking at your own TV. The graphics definitely still look amazing. An upgrade from last year. And, you know, I'm just kind of looking forward to it. Just ready to get this game in the hand and kind of see what it does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So JB, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, well, you know, everybody usually has a different opinion. You know, it shows differently on everybody's system. But I'm really interested to see about this defense. Cause y'all know I like defense. I like doing man. That's the one thing I really did miss. But I'm ready to get my hands on this game and really get in the lab.
Yeah, I have to agree, man, as being one of the people that was able to go to EA Play, man, and then to watch that video this week, I'm watching, like, defensive players not react to the ball at all, or if they did, it was really late, which playing the games, the defense was tight at EA Play. It was like you had to throw to an open spot on the field, the wide receiver had to be open, or it was gonna be an INT, man, off the rip. And to watch those videos where dudes were just slinging the ball around and no defenders were in the area, I was very disappointed, man. It almost turned me off to even get in this game. But, you know, just reading Twitter, Rex has said that they're still working on it. Hopefully, you know, by release or a little bit after, you know, they'll fix that up. And then defense will be back in the game. Because it seems like the last version, they really penalized the defense, man, to where the offense could do anything. And it just was pretty much disgusting, I'll be honest with you. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the top 10 users heading into Madden 18. And,
yes, sir.
And we'll go ahead and start this list off, man, at number 10. First up, we have Nasty Noob. Before I throw it to the fellas, man, I want to say that I don't believe that I should be on this list. I think it's kind of like a pity vote. I don't think I've showed in Madden 17 that I should be on this list. But since you guys voted, I'll accept it. And during Madden 18, I hope to live up to the hype of being on this list. But Tone, I guess we'll start with you. So what are your thoughts on number
sure.
10?
Well, I'll disagree with your take coming in at number 10. I definitely see yourself, Nasty Noop, is definitely one of the top 10 players. And, you know, I kind of go back to even the last 2 years of Madden. I mean, even going back to Madden 16, the way the defense was played by yourself was exceptional. This was when the man coverage was definitely a little more tighter. And you were able to stop the run. And, I mean, just the defensive side of the ball for you was amazing. As far as your offensive game, what I think really stood out to me was kind of how you just took what the defense gave you. You know, you weren't really all about taking the deep shots or nothing like that. You kind of just played into your offense, and whatever the defense dictated was best for you to do, you did. So I think that's kind of what sets you apart, at least from what you're thinking. I definitely agree that you're top 10 because the game that's coming out for Madden 18, they're catering to this man defense, this aspect that's been missing since Madden 16. And since this was your staple, I think you would definitely be back near the top at the end of 17. You started off great. There was a couple games that you kind of lost here and there, but I think for the most part, everybody was still fearful to come to the ATL because they did not know which way it was going to go. And now, you know, yourself with the new team, and I must say it's going to look a little weird seeing Nasty Noop in the purple and gold, but you know, it is what it is. You know, we welcome you, the constituents of the purple and gold. We welcome you to the Vikings. We know that you will do well. I actually think Teddy Bridgewater, you could probably get him to do some of the things that you like to do. The defense, I think, will be kind of tailored to what you're there for. You know, you like to stop the run. I think that defense is definitely will be built to stop the run, and you'll be able to fit in real well. You know, just find your little niche, stay into the Nasty Noob game plan, and do your thing. I definitely see you as a top 10 user for Madden 18.
Yeah, I agree with that also because there's one thing you was in 17, you was consistent. You know, some like you stay consistent. Yeah, I think what really hurts you just when you had the GM move about getting rid of Julio. But hey, sometimes it's hard to replace a great play like that. But you going with the Vikings? That's gonna time. You thought the defense in Atlanta was fast. Wait till you get this Vikings defense. Man, that's gonna fit right into what you do. Like Thomas said, it's gonna be crazy seeing you in the blue and gold. But hey.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a minute, man, but I can tell everybody like this, man. I'm playing pissed off doing Madden 18, man, because I feel like I should still be in Atlanta, but I'm gonna be sure to get back there in 19, come hell or high water. But let's go ahead and move on to the number 9 spot, and we have SJ coming in at number 9, and he'll be moving to New England to take over the Patriots. So, what are you guys' thoughts on SJ since you were division rivals in 17?
Of course, SJ. I would say SJ definitely deserves this number 9 seeding. He definitely, you know, kind of represented us for the most part, more than, you know, half of the time for our division, for Madden 17. But I think, you know, SJ getting the Patriots is like hella glitchy. You know, he's always kind of built up his team from whatever he's had to, you know, gaining all of this speed and, you know, just hitting the perimeter game. SJ loves to work the perimeter game and the deep ball. So I think with him coming from 17, you know, getting Brady, I think they got Brandon Cooks now on the Patriots. I mean, so he's got the speed, he's got the quarterback. I mean, this guy is set up well to do major things for a long while. And I think maybe even number 9 might be too low for SJ just because of what he does. You know what I mean? And like I said, coming from 17, the perimeter game was definitely his. He owned it. The deep ball game, nobody could do it like SJ. And you give this man Brady, and I know he's got at least like 2 or 3 more years left on this Madden 18. They're going to extend out that life for Brady. So I think SJ is going to be around for a minute, man. He's going to make some noise.
Yeah, they messed around. Give the man the GOAT, as they call it. But yeah, him and his deep ball is something that it was nice. It was nice to watch when he did it. But I always hated when it was against me. So, but we made sure that. But you gave this man to go a great then the type of that you gave this man speed. Somehow, some way, he always drafts speed. So, but it's gonna be. I'm glad I'm just not in the division with him this time. I have to see him 2 times a season. I can relax on that.
Yeah.
But then. But giving him that speed and also you gave him a good defensive player. And what's his name? Stephen Gilmore.
Yeah, that's the cornerback that they picked up.
Yep, there you go. And now he has him a lockdown corner. Yeah, he's gonna be set for the next 2 to 3 seasons, maybe even 4.
Yeah,
because he does draft.
Because I know on the last Power Talk show, man, I have SJ down as probably winning the Super Bowl, you know, out the box, either during the first season or the second season. I figure as he gets further and further away from out the box, it's going to be a little bit harder for him because he is going to have to replace Tom Brady. and a few other players on that team. So it should be interesting to watch it, man, throughout Madden 18. But let's go ahead and move on to the number 8 spot. We have Keith Stone coming in here, and he'll be heading to the 49ers, which was a big shock, but it's his favorite team, so he decided to go there and be a GM and try to get that team into winning ways. So, Tone, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, Keystone, man. This is one of my guys, man. He ran with the Jags in 17. So I think him going to the 49ers, his beloved team, he's just going to do the same thing. He's going to reproduce the same wins. I mean, he might even be better. The Jags was a good team. They were very, very young, but nobody feared the Jags last year. And the 49ers are kind of in the same boat this year. You know, we basically thought that the 49ers might end up being one of the last 5 picks selected in our team draft, but they were chosen pretty high. And I think this guy's going to take them to the next level. I think he's going to surprise not only some people, but I think he's going to surprise our league with what he does with the 49ers. I really do, because this guy is a gamer. He plays. He's always near the top. The year before that, he had the Jets, and he was doing the same exact thing. So, I mean, he's taking these teams, which most people would consider bottom teams, and he's making these teams playoff teams consecutively every single year. So I don't expect nothing less from Keystone.
JP, what are your thoughts?
I think this is gonna be a great. This is gonna be the best project team he's probably gonna have to work on. So he knows how to draft well. He knows how to line them up. He knows how to do his free agency. So he knows how to fill the holes he needs on his teams to make them well. So I think he's gonna take over the division. I say within 2 seasons, after giving about 2 drafts, he's gonna do well. He's gonna start leading the division. I give him that.
All right. So I guess we'll go ahead and move on to the number 7 spot. And here we have Addy Does, who will be heading to Cincinnati and those Bengals with all that speed. Tone, what are your thoughts
Oh
here?
man, Addy, man, Addy. I've had to play Addy a few times in Madden 17. He was the Chicago Bears. I hated playing Addy because it seemed like he did everything right all the time. Like you couldn't really ever like catch him slipping, catch him in a crazy defense, you know, where he could get you. But this guy does things right most of the time. So I think Addy coming in with the Bengals in Madden 17, he's going to have John Ross on the field. Everybody wants this Ross character, 98 speed. This guy's going to make some noise, man. This guy is a gamer already, and you now have made him better. The Bengals, they're going to have a quarterback with a good arm. They're going to have wide receivers. The defense is nasty. As always, they play nasty. Martin Lewis definitely likes those bad boys on defense. Play after the whistle, through the whistle, beyond the whistle, whatever you want to call it. Them boys is going to be hitting, and he's going to make some noise. So I like where he's sitting right now at that position. But, you know, you can kind of take a look at maybe, 7 to 10 and kind of make a case for all of those guys kind of being around the same area. So I see his position right now as a good position, and I like him in the top 10 coming into Madden 18.
JB, what do you think?
I think he always complained about he always need a receiver with speed out in Chicago. But so we're gonna see. He finally gets him a receiver with speed. So we're gonna see what he can do with him. See how often he can get to the Super Bowl and not let that one time in 17 be the only time. But like Tone said, when I played him a few times, he always does everything right. Everything.
Right. Everything.
Like I can, like it's just crazy. But we're gonna see how this defense how the defense gonna do, especially with this dude. If they fix things and how it's gonna work with this man coverage defense.
So I guess we'll go ahead and keep it moving, and we'll go to the number 6 spot, and we got 8-speed 30 coming in, and he's going back home to the Redskins, to try to build up that team. Which just looking at it on paper, it might be a little bit of a project since he is probably in the toughest division within the dynasty. So Tone, what are your thoughts on 8-speed?
Yeah. 8-speed at 6 is a good position. Definitely not to get in my head of myself, but I'm really kind of interested to see what the rest of the top 5 are looking like. If you got 8-speed at 6, I mean, this guy definitely does more with less. His running game was the top notch of Madden 17. So I know he's going to be kind of looking to kind of get those Redskins going, maybe with a good O-line. Hopefully he's got some pieces he can mix and match around there. And that running back, I mean, he's going to need a bruiser. This is his style. This is what he's looking for. I mean, he'll definitely throw the ball on you, but he'll tell you himself, if he's not running the ball 60 to 70% of the time, he's not doing his job. So I like where he's sitting right now. I think it might take, maybe a year or two just to get everything okay with his team, how he likes it. Because you see at the end of Madden 17, he had total full control of his team. He knew what every position, every player could do, and he maximized his team throughout the personnel. So I think it might take him a good year or a good draft class to kind of get the people that he wants in. But once he does get those guys in, he's going to be hard to stop. HB at number 6, I think, is a good look.
Yeah, that fits him because he still needs to get over that playoff hump, but it's gonna be okay. And then the division he's in, if he can get at that division alive, I guess you can somewhat say he's in the NFC Championship every season. But that all depends if he can get out of that gauntlet alive. That's a gauntlet every season, no matter what. So he's gonna have a nice bruiser and what's his name, P-Ron from Oklahoma.
I like right? P-Ron. I do. And P-Ron, he got a lot of burn at Oklahoma. And this is one of those guys who kind of reminds me of like your Dalvin Cook kind of guy. He's not the biggest guy, but he'll run you over. He's not the fastest guy, but once he gets into the open field, you're not going to catch him. So I think P-Ron, as his running back addition through this last draft class, I think he's going to be able to try to utilize this guy to do some of the things that he wants to do. But he's definitely going to need that thumper. He's going to need somebody probably with a little more oomph to him. But P-Ron will definitely be there for him until he kind of gets this roster how he wants it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right? He just need to do one thing: get Jordan Reed some help, and then he can get it rolling.
Yeah, I have to agree, man. He just, he's going to have to get a quarterback in there because I believe, after this last contract with Cousins, which is like an expensive 1-year deal, I think he's going to let him go. So he's going to probably have to be looking for that quarterback in probably the first draft that we hold. But let's go ahead and get into the top 5, man. And this top 5 was voted on by the users within the Dynasty, man. Everybody's looking at these dudes as the top tier guys in the league. So coming in at number 5, man, we have Expert. And he'll be going to those Texans this year. So, Tone, what are your thoughts here?
Yes, Expert coming in at number 5. It doesn't really shock me. Expert, one of our great users of the league. Last year, obviously, the world knows this was America's baby. He's had America's team. I mean, he loved the Cowboys, his beloved Cowboys, and he was able to do whatever he wanted to do. In Madden 17, at least on this last year, for the high stakes that kind of got us to the position that we're at now. He didn't start off too well, but then, after he kind of got his bearings up under him, he rattled off a few wins. I think that, through some attrition of some of the penalties that we had, guys were able to kind of shift around, which kind of maybe elevated him up a little bit more. But those wins and that tenacity that he showed at the end, it kind of just, showed us who Expert was throughout the entire Madden 17 season. He was always in the talk of the conversation. He was always in the playoffs. You could kind of bet with him if you knew he was playing another user who probably wasn't exactly up to his par. He definitely showed up during the bigger games. And it's going to be interesting. Him and that boy Good went at it a lot. So I'm sure they'll be going at it. And I haven't heard his name yet. So, he's got to be up there as well. But Expert, going to the Texans, he's going to have a monster team. That D-line is going to be nasty. Hopefully he can get Clowney to kind of work the same way maybe his D-line on the Dallas Cowboys was. But he's going to have a defense. He's going to have some offense. He's got Watson there, so he's going to have a young quarterback. He doesn't really have to kind of go out and get anything for a while. So it'll be like his Dak Prescott last year. I think this guy is probably coming into his team with a ready-made team that's ready to win now. So you're talking about users fitting a team. This is definitely one of the guys where his user skills fit this team, and I see him at least going to the playoffs year one. I promise you. Year one, I'm telling you, Expert will be in the playoffs.
And so yeah, I can piggyback off of that. He's gonna be in the tough division though. Still going to the AFC South. I ain't gonna say I ain't in the top 10, but hey, he still got to face me. He still got to face King Vitamin. That's gonna be a tough division. Like they said, they ain't got us ranked number 2 in the best division for nothing.
That is true. That is true.
All right, so I guess we'll move on to the number 4 spot. And speaking of that boy Good, he comes in at number 4 with the Chargers. So I guess you can speak on him.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise here. Again, like I said, there was a few people's names who I hadn't heard called yet, and I just figured they either must have got forgot about or they must be in the top 10. So that boy Good coming in at number 4. No surprise here. This guy has been a baller. I'm talking about before he left, when he came back. This guy just plays fucking ball, I swear. And him coming to the Chargers, though, is a surprise. The Chargers went very, very high in our Madden 18 draft. So people are really kind of anxious to see what is this guy going to do. And then he comes out and says, you know what, guys? Everybody's sleeping on the Chargers. They're young around the globe. In every position, they are very, very young. So, he's already kind of put it out there that, he's got the youth movement going. And it's exciting to see. I'm not sure how the whole Phillip Rivers thing is going to work. For the Madden 18 ratings that came out, he was definitely one of the quarterbacks that didn't have one of the highest throw powers. I definitely think it was under a 90. So I'm not sure if he's going to look to be drafting a quarterback soon or what's going on there. But his running back is set. He's got some Melvin Gordon and I think some other young guys coming in. His receivers are set. His defense is young. So I think he'll be okay for Madden 18. I don't really see him. I wouldn't say making the playoffs, but I think after he needs another draft class and maybe some free agents to kind of help, just secure that team and maybe gel that team because they're very, very young. But this guy is a good user. He knows what he's doing. And so I think he'll be up there after a year or two. You know what I mean? After a draft class or two, I think this guy will be making some noise. But at number 4, that's a good place for him at number 4.
Yeah, that's a good one too, because he got him a nice project team that are real young. So, but he can work with the young ones, and they big, they fast. So, and like what he said, it's all about the user and the GM skills, not the team. So we're gonna see what he gonna do out there in LA. One of the teams out there in LA.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think a lot of people forget, man, going into Madden 18 that you're just not going to be able to plug and play a quarterback in anymore, which I'm very excited for. Because, in the past, man, you'd be able to go out to free agency, just pick up anybody and come in, throw for 500 yards and still win a game, even though your starter is out. Those days are over. So,
yeah.
So you're going to have to, at this point, Phillip Rivers is old as dirt. He's going to have to be looking for a quarterback to come in there and replace him pretty soon, which, when you have to go out and, maybe reach for a quarterback, man, you're probably going to leave some other holes wide open. So it's probably going to take him a little while, man, to get this team built up to where he wants it. But I think, man, with his GM skills, he should have no problem doing that. But let's go ahead and move on to this number 3 spot, man. And we got King Vitamin coming in at number 3, man. He's taking his talents to Florida and those Jacksonville Jaguars. So what are your thoughts?
Now, this is an interesting pick right here. So King Vitamin, the Browns in Madden 17, I think came into the Madden 17 a little bit late, acquired the Browns, and this guy came in kicking the fucking door down. And so, this guy has been in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs every year since he's been here with this team, the Browns. People were like not fearing the Browns. And then this guy gets him in. Now they can't even win a game. So, him going to the Jags, again, a super young team with a lot of talent, very, very fast. You got Miles Jack now starting at the linebacker spot on the Jags. On the offense, you got the youth movement going. This guy will make the playoffs his first year with the Jags. I can promise you that. King Vitamin is a player. He's got his own cereal named after him. This guy is a baller. He is a baller. Number 3, I mean, this guy is sitting exactly right outside where he wants to be, considering we only got 2 spots left, and you got to know who those 2 guys are. But King Vitamin at number 3, this guy is sitting right where he needs to be to make noise for Madden 18.
Yeah, he's always in there. He's always in the championship game before the Super Bowl every year, every season. So, but yeah, he does. He got him a nice young team. He got him a shutdown corner in Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
He got him a nice young team. He got him a beast running back in what's his name?
Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette. He got tall receivers that might not be fast, but they can jump, they can catch. So he just got to work with Bortles. So maybe he could be one of those quarterback whisperers that can keep him. That everybody's been complaining they can't do with Blake Bortles.
Yeah, and I, JB, I think he actually will do that, because coming into the Browns did not really have, the best quarterback situation, and he came in there and made some noise. With the addition of Leonard Fournette out of LSU, I mean, we watched this guy last year just pound guys in the SEC, run over guys. So this guy is definitely bringing a different element to the Jags. I don't know if you guys watched him on the game the other night versus Dallas in the NFL preseason, but I mean, he scored his first touchdown and he looked good. I mean, he was running through guys, he was running through the holes, I mean, Vitamin is going to have a ready-made team. This guy, like you said, is the quarterback whisperer. I don't think that will be a problem. I think he will get Blake Bortles to do whatever he needs him to do. Blake Bortles is coming in with a decent arm, so that's going to be, a good factor for him. The rest of his team is young, like we've already said. And so coming in at number 3, I think this is a great place for him. And I just assume and know that he will definitely be in the playoffs this year for Madden 18, year 1.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough haul for everybody in that division, man. It's a tough division in that AFC South, so it'll be interesting to see who comes up out of there over these next couple seasons. So, but let's go ahead and move on, man, and we'll come in at the number 2 spot. And it's no surprise here, man. You got KP heading to his hometown favorite team, the Eagles. So, what are your guys' thoughts here?
Now, is this KP or is this the real KP?
Good one.
Actually, all jokes aside, man, we everybody obviously knows who this is. Owner of the Detroit Lions, Madden 17. This guy is a monster. Half of them banners up there are his. Please do not get it twisted. This guy is a gamer. He will beat you twice on Sunday. I'm telling you, this guy will take a team. He's gonna be okay. You can mark my words, he will be in the playoffs every year, and it's going to be our job to kind of neutralize this playing field now. We got some things going against us. At least I'm speaking for the rest of the league, because KP is one of those gamers where you got to be on your stuff from day one. You know what I mean? I think some of the twisting of the rules a little bit last year kind of maybe leveled the playing field a little bit, just for things that were being done that a lot of other people didn't see. But I think this guy coming into this Madden 18 with this team, he's gonna be a force. He will be in the playoffs, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing him in the playoffs. But we gotta at least make sure he's not getting those banners like every year. You know what I mean, guys?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. So he should be limited to that in the NFC East, because he's in the number 1 tough division. But he's going to a defensive made team in the Philly. We know he can run the defense. So he don't have shutdown corners, but he got corners that can D up for him. So he's going to a mediocre offense. But we know how he drafts and play. And so we already know how he's gonna work. He's gonna work right there in this division. He got his main PIC right there in the division. But we ain't gonna name no names. But it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna see. That's gonna be a nice battle at the end of the NFC East.
Yeah, and for me, just to make one more point on KP, because everything kind of surrounds the quarterback. I'm glad Dion kind of brought that up. But I mean, this guy coming in with Carson Wentz, he's gonna have an arm. His accuracy, I'm not sure if that's going to be kind of where he wants it, but I think it'll be decent enough for KP to do what he's able to do. So you give a good user a decent quarterback, and I think he's going to go a long way. And this is definitely one of the examples of that. So I see KP doing major things for Madden 18.
Yep.
Most definitely. All right, so I guess, man, we'll go on to the number one spot in Hot Tub, heading to the Cowboys hosting spot. I always remember, man, he was voted into this spot by the users within the Dynasty, so I guess all 32 users believes that he's the number one top dog in the league. So what do you think, Tone?
Yeah, I mean, and if you're not buying what this guy is selling, then something is wrong with you. Hot Tub, I mean, this guy has danced around us on the hot tub damn near every year. When he wasn't winning the Super Bowl, it was obviously KP. So, the top user in Madden 18, going into a team with the Cowboys ready-made to win the Super Bowl. I mean, we cannot let him win the Super Bowl year one, guys. But the odds are stacked against us. Just know that. Know that. I mean, this guy is coming in with the best team, which a lot of people would have taken the Cowboys with that number one pick in our Madden 18 draft. So you're giving the best user of our dynasty one of the best teams in Madden 18. So to me, it's kind of already written on the wall. We can kind of go over who the Cowboys have at every position. But you got this user with this team. And I just want to put that in perspective for everybody who doesn't know. So this guy is winning the Super Bowls, and he's getting the Zeke Elliott. He's getting the number one offensive line. He's getting Dak Prescott. He's getting Dez Bryant. He's getting all of this offensive firepower. And then we go to the defense. I mean, Jalen Smith, a young guy who didn't really see any burn last year, coming in as one of the fastest linebackers on the game. The defense is going to be solid. This guy is going to come into a team that is ready to win right now. And so the Dynasty, DML, I hope you guys are ready. Get your popcorn ready. Hot Tub has the Cowboys. We're taking the jacuzzi to Dallas.
That's a good way to put it. But now he's not gonna be he's not in no patty, what they call it, a patty cake division right now. He's in the tough division, as we all say. He got three people that's in the top 10, top 5 in his division. So it's gonna be a tough one to come out there come out every season after season, because after a while they're gonna actually know what he's doing, because he's in the tough division.
Yeah, you're right. He's in the what we have now said, by our user ranking, he is in the toughest division. And then you even got Flair in there. You know what I mean? So any day of the week, nobody wants to fucking lose to Flair. This is the mantra of Mr. Flair. So he's going to be bringing his A game. After a year or two, like you said, JB, everybody's going to kind of know how each other plays. So, I mean, whoever is coming out of this division is going to be battle tested, is going to be ready. We're definitely going to be seeing them deep in the playoffs. But I think, the rest of us need to make sure that we're on top of our A game, because this guy with this team is a monster. It's scary. It's hella glitchy.
And you said they're gonna be battle tested every season.
Yeah, and with the new offensive line play, the way that the center pretty much controls the awareness of the O line, he's starting off light years ahead of the rest of us, man. But like with anything, at some point, all good things must come to an end, and he will have to decide who he wants to pay and who he wants to keep. So he's gonna probably have to break up that offensive line probably by season 3 or 4, and that's when things will get real around here. So that should be interesting. But I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to another special episode of Power Talk. This was the Top 10 User Edition, voted on by users within the Dynasty. Go ahead and if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for all the new content put out on the DML network. I'm your host, Nasty Noop. I have Tone Dog and I have JB with me. We're out.
We're out.
Peace.
What it do?